What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today we have something that is from the community that was actually shared about a month ago. And I didn't necessarily mention much of this because at the time I thought it was going to be a lot of work to break all this stuff down, but I got an epiphany. So recently I was invited to the Podcast Now's channel, Alex, to make a video talking about a few things regarding villains and so on and so forth. I'll leave a link in the description for that. But somewhere in that conversation, I actually, referenced this particular breakdown that someone here in our community actually put together. This breakdown is on a Twitter thread, but I think it's in the documentation form, and it has a lot of tidbits that this person pulled from all of the stuff we've gotten in terms of reveals, things from the comics, and tried to piece together some things that we might see when the game releases. Now, I have to warn you, this is not something that is any leaked information, but it's more of an investigative compilation. And if you're averse to spoilers, there might be unintended spoilers if you go ahead and look at this particular document. So by all means, be warned before I actually show you this thread. I'm not going to read the elements or the contents of the thread. I'm not going to do that. But at least I want you to realize that at any rate, you might be catching some information that you do not need in terms of anything regarding Gotham Knights. Are we clear? Okay, I'm glad that we're clear. Now let's go ahead and check out whatever the heck this thing is. And I'm going to show you why I'm kind of stoked about it. Now, Bruno Ferreira, I think that's how you say it, says, "Yo, Gotham Knights community, I've analyzed the trailers and developed some theories about the plans of each villain. Beware, there are some spoilers for those who haven't read the Court of Owls comic book storyline." This was actually put out in August 29th, and I just basically, shared it on my Twitter feed. I don't think it really got a lot of traction at that time. It was probably in the evening when I saw it. And it really is something that I feel is quite phenomenal. Now, even if some of the theories end up being not accurate, I still think it really goes to show how a lot of people are quite dialed in to a lot of what is going on in this community. And it uses screenshots from, all of the different things that we've gotten. It takes into consideration a whole lot of different things. And that's one of the reasons I went ahead and said, we really have to put this in front of those in the community who are actually interested in looking into these details. And I think this is something else that brings into the conversation how a lot of people are looking forward to the narrative of Gotham Knights. And again, for those who may not necessarily, see any value in the story, I think this is probably the most, I would say the most critical and the most valuable aspect of Gotham Knights. If this game has anything, is its narrative that's going to pretty much be that particular aspect of the game. It's not going to have a lot of the, the luxury. Yeah, that's how I'm going to put it. It's not going to have a lot of the luxuries that, say, the Arkham games had, because the Arkham games first started out with a very small, unique, and deep story in a small setting. This game is going for the open world approach. They're going for the full-on, big world experience. But at the end of the day, these characters are still characters of the Bat family, and they're going to require that you write them very well. And so this thread, too, is not even really focused on the major characters. It's also focused on the villains, which is something that I don't know how to say read it and not read it. But those who are really interested in kind of seeing what the theories are, it will really give you a very solid, basis on how you can maybe visualize. And I'm sure you can actually look at them and say, I disagree in this area. I think this is how it is. And you can come up with other theories that possibly could manifest themselves in the game. Either way, you could also take the approach of saying, nope, I want 100% to be surprised with everything that I encounter. And I'm sure that's also going to be fine as well. But I'd love to hear your thoughts about villains. I want to hear your thoughts about how they're going to encounter the knights in different aspects. And another thing, too, is it seems like we're going to be getting some cameos in this game. This is something that in the community we haven't necessarily explored too much, because it doesn't seem like the developers have actually given us much in terms of that direction. But remember, for those of you who got to see, or, everybody probably saw this little picture that the devs shared and put out there with a newspaper article that said Bruce Wayne was dead and so on and so forth. And we got to see all kinds of different elements in that newspaper page, from, articles to different ads and all that stuff. And it seemed like there were little tidbits of some characters like, say, Selena Kyle and so on and so forth. I'm interested in the cameos that will potentially show up in this game. That is, if there are any. I mean, I would like to see maybe even, characters like Catwoman, maybe even Poison Ivy in this game, because they do have some kind of a relationship with these knights. Even though it's a secondary, kind of interaction, it is possible that they're able to provide a little bit more depth into the story. But it seems, by and large, the main villains, some of the main villains anyways, have been revealed, and we're probably going to be seeing more villain groups run Gotham rather than individual villains as we're kind of used to, or at least there'll probably be a mix in a sense, because even someone like Mr. Freeze already is somewhat affiliated with a villain group. And I think this is probably what we're going to see. And then the villain group has some autonomy according to the developers anyways. But anyways, I just want to go ahead and share this with you guys. I would get out of your hair. Let me know what it is that you think if you actually did go and take a look at these theories in the comment section below. Thanks once again for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.